The name and symbol of the Punisher bring up a wide variety of emotions and memories in people these days. I want to give a brief history of the Punisher, what the character means to me, and why I chose the name Punisher Knight. February of 1974, Spider-Man 129 hits the stands featuring a new character on the cover attempting to assassinate Spidey himself with the tagline, "He's different, he's deadly, he's the Punisher." This issue quickly shows you how dangerous and calculating Punisher is, as well as his desire to only kill those he deems deserve it. The climax of this issue, of course, has old Spidey and Punisher duking it out, with Punisher putting Spider-Man on the ropes just before Jackal ambushes him, causing Spidey to retreat and recover. Throughout this introductory comic, the fact that the Punisher has a moral code is constantly brought up. Although not well defined, what is established is Punisher's goal to eradicate New York's crime world, and he did not take well to the fact that Jackal had tricked him into trying to kill a hero. Not much else is revealed about the Punisher here, other than the fact that he used to be a Marine. Through various team-ups in other characters' comics, over the next 13 years, we would see the Punisher more fleshed out, including providing us his name, Frank Castle. It would not be until 1987 when he would get his own series. Along the way, we would get the infamous Park Massacre of the Castle family, pieced together through various adaptations. From here, the momentum starts to gain with more crossovers, additional miniseries, and in 1989 getting his first movie, starring great Dolph Lundgren. Admittedly, not the best of adaptations, but still an entertaining action film for what it is. We will go over all the movies and shows for the Punisher in other videos, but notably, we also got the Punisher played by Thomas Jane in 2004, the great late Ray Stevenson in 2008, and John Bernthal in 2017. In addition to appearing in print and film, Punisher also had a solid run of games dating all the way back to the 1990 release on NES. Across all these adaptations, one thing is made clear. Punisher sees himself as a solution to the inadequacies of the American justice system, not someone to be admired. He did occasionally work with others and take on long-term partners, but most of the time this is only by necessity, and usually he tried to keep others from following in his footsteps. Frank saw himself on a one-person war, usually portrayed to be fueled by the death of his family, while others show that there's just a force that has always been inside of him. Sometimes it would be a spirit of revenge or a deal with the devil during his time in service, while it has also been portrayed as a mental issue before. Throughout the years, we have seen the Punisher in space, in the future, as a Frankenstein monster, as well as a warrior powered by angel tech, and many other forms, including the current 2023 run as a supernaturally empowered being of the hand referred to as the Beast, who can not only handle being ambushed by the Avengers, but basically take them out one hit each. Yes, we have seen the Punisher kill the entire Marvel Universe before, but that was with planning and very few straightforward fights. So this Ares killing, Avengers smashing form is a big power up for old Frank. There has been dips and peaks in the almost 5 decades that he has been on the scene, but with the modern popularity of the character, it does not seem like Punisher is going anywhere anytime soon, even if Marvel is desperate to rebrand him. Which brings us to the next section. This section will be a little rough, but I will be attempting to remain as apolitical as possible, saving personal feelings on the matter for the third section. Outside of the occasional action figure and poster, Marvel had a hard time merchandising the Punisher for a while due to his killer image and comics' target audience usually being the youth. But it seems like in the early 2000s we started getting the iconic skull plastered on everything and pushed out the market. Fans were happy, of course, to be able to get more merch for a character they love, but there was instantly a large number of people buying up the skull and putting on anything without knowing the character at all. Not the most uncommon thing and a harmless act. If anything, it helped get more merch out with a higher expected demand for the products. In 2003, some American troops in the Iraq War started wearing the skull on their military gear. Chris Kyle, a decorated Navy SEAL who was the focus point of the autobiography and film American Sniper, spoke heavily on relating to the goals of the Punisher and why he wanted to wear the skull with the following quote: "He righted wrongs. He killed bad guys. He made wrongdoers fear for him. We wanted people to know we're here and we want to fuck with you." From there, it started being spread to other military forces, most notably the Iraq military that were trained by the American personnel. Only took until next year in 2004 for a group of vigilante cops to form the Punishers. It lasted to at least 2007. While other groups of cops across the country continued to don the symbol in smaller groups up until 2013, when the Punisher skull was adopted by the Blue Lives Matter movement, which was a rough juxtaposition to cops attempting to fight the allegations of various brutal acts and killings in the black community while wearing a symbol that represented a man who constantly broke the law the cops were hired to upkeep. Some cop agencies started using an altered version of the skull in an official capacity on squad cars, branded with the phrase "Blue Lives Matter." This was often defended by the Boys in Blue, saying that it represented that they were willing to do anything to keep their community safe, while others saw it as a reminder of officers' ability to be judge, jury, and executioner. It was only a matter of time until the outrage reached levels to cause the Marvel-owned logos to be removed from a large number of official police vehicles. With the widespread popularity of the 2017 show, the skull started being seen more and more across various conservative platforms, eventually forming this abomination of a Punisher skull with orange hair. During all of this, one of the Punisher's creators, Jerry Conway, came out explaining his disdain for the skull to be used by any figure with authority. Recent writers have also attempted addressing the matter, trying to convey that they do not think police should don the Punisher skull. As well as in recent series, the symbol has received complete redesigns to try to distance the Punisher from the more radical uses of the standard skull. To be honest, the Punisher was not a character I paid much attention to until the 2004 movie, which might not have been the most accurate of origin stories, but captured the energy of both Frank Castle and the Punisher amazingly. This interest greatly intensified with the 2008 film with Ray Stevenson, Punisher Warzone. With Warzone's difference in origins and me not knowing which was accurate, I then started collecting Punisher comics. First with the bound version of Welcome Home Frank. From there, I tried to get as many Punisher comics as I could. I watched the Spider-Man animated show all the way through just to catch a couple key episodes with Frank in it, as well as obtain as many of the games as possible, which for me the highlight was the PS2 Xbox original title, Punisher. To me, the Punisher was someone with a strong sense of justice, using the tools he had to make a difference. And that really spoke to me as a youth who felt strong as an individual, but weak as a member in society and what I could do to make a difference. As I have aged, my love for the character has fully remained, while my wanting to be like him has diminished a great deal. I have seen historically what happens when one person has so much unchecked power and tries to take matters into their own hands, and that is not something I want for myself or desire for anyone else. The Punisher is an anti-hero with very little real-world practicality. Time for the short and simple part, why I chose the name Punisher Knight. Previous to 2008, I had a username that started being taken more and more on new sites I was joining, and I got tired of adding X's to my name, so I looked around my room for inspiration, eventually coming to a new comic I was reading at the time, which was a crossover between Punisher and Moon Knight, and it just clicked. As negative associations with the Punisher skull and name has grown over the years, I have put serious thought into changing my name and branding. But then I think, screw it. So I've stuck my stubborn self where I am and don't plan on moving anytime soon. This has been a subject that I've wanted to cover for a while, but really wasn't sure which angle to go at it. My goal is to never to be preachy on this channel, but I do occasionally get questioned on this, as well as my positions on the matter, which, if you want to know, is that everyone has the right to enjoy the character, but the inspirations in the real world should be kept to a minimal, especially for those who are in positions of power that serve a role in protecting the community. They should not be wearing a symbol that is intended on invoking fear, whether it's the Punisher skull or any other iconography. The Punisher and his branding mean a lot of different things to different people, but what does it mean to you? Thank you for your time and listening to an old guy rant on a comic book character. My channel is usually more lighthearted, so subscribe if you want more Gundams, gaming, and general nerdom. Until next time, have a good one.